show on this Monday night. I'm Charles Edmond, head football coach Fred McNair is here, Keisha is here. And before we get underway, I want to wish a special thank you to Emmanuel Barnes and Jay Miles last week. They pinch hit for me in last week's show during the bye week, so I appreciate that support. We're back to work here, Coach. Fred McNair joining us. Keisha is here, and we'll get Keisha in a moment. She has all the tweets, so we'll get to that coming up. Coach Fred McNair here on the Alcorn Football Radio Network, the Fred McNair Radio Show, 601-877-6595. We already have a call. We'll get to that coming up as well. Coach, good evening.
Good evening, Charles. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. It was kind of a busy 7 days for me from St. Louis back to Mississippi in high school, and it ended with a tough emotional loss on Saturday. Is it safe to say that was an emotional loss?
It was, Charles, and just the effort the guys put into it, man, and just being able to play and perform the way they did and at a high level, and a few mistakes here and there, we correct those, and we probably would come out with a win, just to overcome those mistakes that were made during the process of that whole event. That will give you the emotional part about that loss, the way it happened.
4 turnovers. We all know it's hard to win when you turn it over.
You couldn't beat a high school like that, Charles, and that's honest to say that. When you go out there and turn the ball over 4 times, and especially when you got drives going into your red zone and all that stuff, man, and just it's a killer for the offense. That's the disappointing thing about it when you have an opportunity to score touchdowns and then you don't get them because of a turnover or a penalty.
4 minutes after, we're going to go right to the phone calls. I'm sure we'll have quite a few tonight. So let's get to Dr. Spencer calling from the great state of California. Good evening, Dr. Spencer.
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Well, great. I just want to commend you for such a wonderful program, and I thought I would call in to congratulate Coach McNair about all of that offense. It was highly unusual.
I want to say thank you, Dr. Spencer, man, and it's just the time we put in it and just open up a little bit more the things we can do offensive-wise. Good thing to have Footman back under him with the passing game that we're going to present, and things that he can do in that backfield back there, man, is such a great thing to have him back behind the center.
Well, I'm sure it is, but you know something? That's the brand of Al McNair.
Well, I thank you for that, but Lenoir is a great player, and he tried to do everything right and try to go all the reads. Even when I was coaching him last year, that's the kind of player that he is. He want to be a very humble guy and make the team better, So that's the position he put himself in to be that leader on offense.
Yeah, well, I just want to commend you, and you have our support, and on Superb, I'm sure you're going to bring a W back.
Well, that's what we plan on doing this week, Dr. Spencer, preparing ourselves to go up to Prairie View and come back with a victory, and we got to work hard this week as a team and as a coaching staff to get these guys in a position to win ball games. That's what we have to do as a staff.
Yeah, I'm sure you're doing that. And again, congratulations, but continue that Al McNair brand of football.
All right, Doc. Thank you. We appreciate it. Dr. Spencer calling in from California. Early phone call here, 6 minutes after the hour. Give us a call, 601-877-6595. All right, let's get to the highlights, Coach. The Braves won the toss, took the football at their 25-yard line here at the start. Braves at the 25 in the purple. Play action for Foot. Steps up, chase, throws, caught. Collins Moore sheds 3 tacklers. Brought down at the 42-yard line. A gain of 17 out of the pistol. Play action. North rolling to his right. Throws, caught. And it's a first down. Orlando Fields with the catch at the 32-yard line. Well, the Braves looking sharp, James Crosby here on execution on the first offensive drive. Yeah, and we did look sharp early.
We did, and that was one of our main focus on getting a fast start, with the offense and making sure we execute the right plays, getting Lenoir outside the pocket a little bit to kind of help him out a little bit in that situation there. And he does a great job throwing on the run doing those things and completing passes.
Braves got to the 33-yard line of Southern on their first drive.
Here's the Lance on the handoff. Fumbled the ball. Southern's got it. Had it stripped at the 30-yard line. Jaguars come up with it. Looked like he was in the clear, and just as he got there was stripped. Jaguars get a turnover. And the Braves coming into this game in the minus territory, -6 now, -7. As the Lance had it stripped, Southern recovers at the 30.
Like he had nothing but daylight there, probably a step and a half, and we would have been out in front.
If only he just hold it high and tight just a little longer there, Charles. And like you said, he was in the clear with it, and the guy fell back in on his arm, and he dropped his arm down a little bit to where he wouldn't secure the ball, and they just stripped it from him. And just like you said, we was on the verge of that first opening drive to scoring a touchdown, and things like that prevent us from doing that. Turnovers, and he know we can't allow that, and we just got to just keep working, man. I tell you, those are the things that kind of that kills the drive and stuff like that happen.
So after the turnover, the Jaguars 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
Out of the pistol in the white option. Now a little complete flicker. There's a pass down the field. Open, caught. 40, 35 inside the 30. Randall Menard, boy, he's been a thorn in our side for 3 years. On the flea flicker, Menard with the catch. The senior from Oak Ridge, Louisiana, with the first down, a gain of 42.
And like I said, and I was on a talk show on Saturday, and that kid Menard, he's a senior. May be done with him, but he has made big catches for 4 years.
He's been doing it for 4 years, Charles. And the thing about that play, they get the ball to Willie Quinn on a little reverse around, and he draws attention when he get the ball. So our defensive back didn't stay on the cut, and just felt they needed to come up and make a play on Quinn, which, coming out, we know they're going to throw a deep pass of some nature. So we just didn't do a good job of getting back and covering the receiver.
So it's 1st and 10 from the Braves 28, Tillery for 12. 1st and 10 from the Braves 12-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Jaguars in the red zone. And here's Tillery to the 10, to the 5, lowers his shoulder, and he scores. Touchdown, Jaguars. Tillery from 14 yards out. Tillery with his 8th touchdown.
Yep, 8th touchdown of the year. He set the SWAC all-time rushing record in this game. 70-yard drive in 4 plays, Coach, and Southern on the board early.
Yeah, that's the thing that we try to prevent those opening drives like that when the opposition get the ball and drive and down the field like that. We love to make stops, and that's what we try to do. Just on that run there, we just kind of lose contain on the outside, and Tillery's a good back. He's a very patient back, and he does a great job of following his blockers there. So he got outside and scored a touchdown there.
So it's 7-0 Jaguars. The Braves' second drive started at their own 25 with 11:40 left in the first quarter. They had a 4th and 4 Footman to Collins Moore for 7 yards to the Jaguars 26. Got to the Jaguars 21. Was 3rd down and 5 as we pick up the action right here.
Putting it back to pass looking white. Pump fake, steps up. He can run. 20, 15, 10, 5, 1, that whole left side of the line was wide open, and Footman got to the end zone, and it's 7-6.
7-6 at that point, and that was a good play by Foot.
It was. I mean, they had everything pressed down in man, and the next thing, they don't account for the quarterback, and Footman was able to escape to his left and score a touchdown, which I say, he's a great runner as well.
But the PAT was botched, went through the hands of Pickett White, the holder. So when we had 2 of those, we had 1 blocked and 1 botched.
Well, that one there, they say the snap was high, but I felt that he could have made the catch and get the ball down. But, we just got to get better and just keep working at it, Charles.
So the Braves were within 1, 7-6. The next Braves drive started at their 30-yard line with 3:32 left in the first quarter. Turner with a 28-yard run to the Jaguars 34. It was 1st down and 10. So it was 13-10 at that point, Coach. At the end of the first quarter, we had 204 yards of total offense through the first 15 minutes.
And that's just playing the way we should play every week, Charles. And, when you execute and play that way and play flawless football and without those mistakes and everything. You know, that's just the way this team operates. You know, we're very good at times when we do things right, and that's one occasion that, you know, the first half with 200 some yards in the first half. You know, just the way we play. I mean, if we play like that consistently, I think this team would be a whole lot better.
So it was 13-10 to the end of the first quarter. We'll take a timeout, try to get a call or two in. Keisha's here with the tweets. We'll get to that coming up as well. We'll take our timeout. We'll be right back in 1 minute on the Fred McNair Radio Show.
Show your Braves pride at home or in the office by purchasing the Alcorn back-to-back SWAC Champions replica trophies. They're $20 each and make a great coffee table piece or desk paperweight. Get yours today online by going to alcorn.edu/foundation. Or you can call Larry Smith at 601-877-2470 or send him an email, lsmith@alcorn.edu. Proceeds will benefit Alcorn football.
There's just one place where students are students first and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than just winning competition. Studies show that student athletes in Mississippi are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics, high school sports, part of complete education. This message presented by the Mississippi High School Activities Association and the Mississippi Athletic Administrators Association.
At WPRL 91.7 FM.
All right, 13 minutes after the hour. We had a bunch of tweets come in prior to the show, so let's get to one or two of them. Keisha joining us. Good evening, Keisha.
Good evening. First question is, do you feel like, Coach McNair, do you feel like the team is buying into, or should I say has bought into your way of doing things? Because, I don't know, just my observation and, of course, I guess others, it seems like there's a disconnect. I don't know if it's with the team and the staff or it's within the team itself. It seems like they're having a hard time gelling it all together because of the inconsistency. It's like when we have offense going, clicking, the defense is dragging, and vice versa. So, do you think it's...
I just think that, you know, and like I tell them, you know, we have to put it all together for one game and make a complete game out of the whole thing. So I don't think it's so much of buying into it, because I've been around for 4 years with these guys, and they know me, and they know Coach Thomas and the rest of the staff. You know, we only have three new coaches on the staff. So, you know, just buying into it, I don't think that's what it is. It's just that we put them in the best position to try and win ball games, and somehow between the practice time and game time on Saturdays, there's some kind of disconnect. You know, and like I told them a while ago, let's stop making excuses for ourselves, you know, and let's play football the way it needs to be played. And I think that's the biggest thing. And everybody having an excuse talking about they didn't get the call and all this type of stuff, and we doing everything. We have 3 or 4 guys on offense signaling plays in, 3 or 4 guys on defense signaling plays in, so there's no excuse. And that's what I told them a minute ago during the team meeting. So we just have to stop feeling sorry for ourselves and play football.
I mean, I totally agree, because, like I said, I never thought it was a disconnect with the team and the staff, because, like you said, you're not brand new. You've been with them the past 4 years. It just seems like, I don't know if it's a team leadership issue. I mean, with the quarterback, that's normally your leadership position on the team, and Footman, I believe he has the maturity to do that. But in my opinion, I don't know this to be true. I'm just my opinion from observing. It just seems like he's a bit too humble, if that makes sense. I think he needs to step it up, be a little bit more vocal without feeling like he's coming down on the guys, if that makes sense.
He's kind of a quiet leader.
Right.
Sound like you was just in my meeting room, because those are some of the things I really spoke on. You know, somebody stepping up, being that leader. You know, and that's the toughest thing. You know, everybody can't lead. You know, and the people that you want to lead, you know, they're just afraid to.
But I think he can. I think he's just, like Charles just said, he's quiet, he's humble. He reminds me of Kevin Durant, just looking at how he would do things. yeah, he's a leader, but you gotta know how to approach your team to get them going. And I think if he stepped it up a little bit and was a bit more vocal, I think they would respect that.
You know, sometimes when you're a quiet leader and all that kind of stuff, and you play the game the way it's supposed to be played, you know, you talk about lead by example, you know, and that's the way he leads, and he out there doing his best. And,
Right.
you know, you don't have all the quarterbacks that are very vocal, don't go around just really blabbing off on the offensive line or the receiver for not catching ball. Like I used to tell him, I said, make it easy for him.
Right.
You know, make it easy for the receiver to catch the ball. When the offensive line miss a block, tell them that's okay. We'll block the next one. You know.
Well, I have to
and
say
that's the
his
thing, you know,
offensive
so-
line has been doing a good job. And Saturday, his receivers, they were working together. I just think the team as a whole, maybe he just needs to kind of voice his opinion just a little bit to, you
And
know.
I agree with you 100%. We need that leadership ability, and that's what I'm trying to draw out of those guys.
Yeah.
I told them today, somebody have to step up and be a leader. I
Exactly.
mean, be an alpha male and say, I'm going to lead this team,
Right.
whether it's offensive, defensive, special team.
I totally
Somebody have to step up.
All right, Keisha, we appreciate that. We'll get back to the tweets. We get to the second quarter. The third play of the drive, as Alcorn started in the second quarter at their own 24-yard line, got to their own 44. Anderson with a pass intercepted by from Lenore's Footman. Let's talk about that pick.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it hit the receiver dead in the hands, and it reflects off the receiver, and there you have it, Charles. And that's the thing. I mean, they couldn't have hit him in a better spot. He just got to make that catch. You know, if stats goes into receivers having interception, that will be one. But you know, Foot gonna take the blame for that, which he did. You know, and like I always tell him, make it easier catch, make it easier throw for him. So it was just a bad situation right there, and had a chance for a big play if he catch the ball. You know, so but he didn't catch it and came off, and they picked it.
So the Jaguars with the football, 11-17 left. Southern at the Braves 49, got to the 33, and it was a 4th down and 5 on this play.
Play pocket 3, 2, 1. He just got it off. Power back to pass. Looks, throws. Caught. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Jaguars on the skinny post.
Curtain Williams with the touchdown. So it was 17-13 at that point. Coach McNair with 9 minutes left in the first half. And the Jaguars added another score to go up 24-13. So when you look at it, Coach, 24-13 at the half, we were outgained 168-60 in the second quarter. We had 6 penalties in that second quarter, and we talked about the turnover. So down 11, what was your speech to your team at the break?
Well, the biggest thing is stop shooting ourselves in the foot. I mean, there's nobody beating Alcorn but Alcorn. It's Alcorn against Alcorn right now, and that's the way it's played. You know, they didn't do anything to stop us. I mean, everything that we did it to ourselves, and that was the biggest thing. Come out and play Alcorn brand of football. Stop making mistakes, and let's execute and play fast.
20 minutes after 6, we're going to take a timeout here. We'll be right back. Give us a call, 601-877-6595. You can send a tweet to All Man Radio or an email, football@alcorn.edu. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back in 1 minute.
The SOD Club is a booster club for your sounds of dynamite. Get out your phones now and join and donate. Let's help take the sounds to new decibels. This year, the SOD Club is sponsoring an instrument drive for the sound. Your membership or donation to the SOD Club will help us make new instruments a reality for our renowned band. Please visit www.sodclub.org. The SOD Club has contributed over $40,000 to the band. All memberships and donations are tax deductible. The SOD Club providing unwavering support to the Alcorn State University Marching Band Program.
At highway speeds, the average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. That's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts, stopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
At WPRL 91.7 FM.
All right, 21 minutes, now 22 minutes after 6 o'clock. Let's go to Dallas, where Kermit is joining us. Good evening, Kermit.
Hey, Charles, how you doing today?
Good evening.
Hey, Coach McNair, how's things going for you today?
Man, it's going, Kevin. I'm just trying to get everything right, man. I tell you, it's tough.
So what I call for is I don't have anything to complain about. I'm not going to do that. But what I call is to give you a word of encouragement. So I'm going to give you a prediction, Coach. This prediction is going to come true, and once the season is over and this happens, you're going to have to call me and tell me, Kermit, you need to go to Vegas because you know what you're talking about. So what I'm predicting is going to happen, Coach. We're going to end up winning the Eastern Division on there. We're going to get everybody healthy, and we're going to go to Houston down there, and either Southern or Grambling is going to say, how the heck did a 65 team beat us 42-20 in the championship game? We're going to get everybody healthy, and you're going to be fine. And I just want to tell you, man, dude, just keep your head up, man. I just love it the way you're doing it. I love it that you don't back down from anybody. So I just really appreciate it, and I think the program is in good hands. That's all I wanted to tell you.
I appreciate you, Kermit.
All right, Kermit, thank you very much for your phone call at 23 minutes after. Let's look at the third quarter highlights. The Jaguars led by 11, then they added to their lead. 2nd and 1 from their own 38-yard line.
2nd down and 1. Here's Tillery with the hole. Tillery to the 50, 45, 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars, 62 yards.
Tillery, of course, we talked about it, set the SWAC all-time leading rushing record, and on that play was wide open.
And that's what happens when you leave a crease in there, man. He's a really good back, and he just happened to hit the hole and find it, and there was nothing catching him after that, Charles. And we just did a bad job of filling our gaps on that play. And look at film, and you can just see it how wide it is there.
So it's 31-13, a minute, 9 seconds into the third quarter. As we fast forward to 10:27 left in the third, the Braves started at their own 17. Footman, an 83-yard run. Boy, did we need a big play at that moment because Southern had the momentum going into the locker room, got the ball to begin the second half. They scored, and Footman does what he does, an 83-yard scamper. Good blocking in front of him.
I tell you what, the offensive line did a great job over the past couple of weeks, taking care of the running game and what we're doing there. And Footman does a great job of sticking his toes in the ground and digging that 81-yard touchdown out.
So with that run, it was 31-20 with 10:11 left in the third quarter. So now we need to stop. Southern's next drive started at their own 38-yard line with 10:04 left in the third. Got to the Braves 22 where it was 1st down and 10.
There's a big run here. Tillery, 10-5, touchdown. Too easy.
Just fine blocking by the right side of the Southern line, and Tillery wasn't touched.
Talk about that right edge.
They give him a crease, I tell you. That he's very patient runner, and he slowed down in the hole and burst through it. So he's a great runner, and he knows what to do with it once he sees a crease.
So 38-20 with 7:02 left in the third. The next Braves drive started at their own 35. Got to Southern's 30 at 4th and 1. The Lance Turner for no gain. Talk about that play. I thought that was a huge play as we try to keep ourselves on level and didn't convert the 4th and 1.
It was, and just be mindful before that play, we got opportunity on 3rd down to get a 1st down, but the receiver decided to back up and come back towards the line of scrimmage. If he just stick his toes in the ground and just cut it up, we wouldn't be in that predicament. But nevertheless, we have to be strong enough to get 1 yard when it's time to get a push on the offensive line. And that's what we got to get better at right there. And quit being so soft up front right there at that point, So we just got to get tough and muster that 1 yard up, which we're very capable of doing.
So through the end of the third quarter, Coach, we were just kind of hanging in there. 250 yards of total rushing yards in the game. Southern had 123 and we had 127. Talk about the ability to run the football because we were able to do that. I don't think really Southern stopped us running the football. Whatever we wanted to do, Footman had the 83-yard run, whether it was the Lance Turner, whether it was Silas Spearman, we were able to really, carve a lot of yards running the ball.
And that's what's so disappointing, Charles, when you talk about the way we can rush the ball and the way we pass the ball in the game, and we fall 8 points short of winning the ball game, and that's discouraging there. The way we just execute as well as we did, and we still lose the ball game, but we just got to just start mushing up, stop turning the ball over, and that's 4 possessions right there. If you score at least 2 touchdowns on no possession, you win the ball game.
Yeah. Opportunities, and the Braves had a couple in the fourth. We'll get to that. The fourth quarter highlights coming up. 601-877-6595. We're going to have the SWAC report coming up. Even though the Braves didn't win on Saturday, we got a little help. And we'll kind of look at how things stand in the standings with Jackson State, of course, your Braves, and Alabama A&M has a toe in the water, if you will, in the standings. They're not out of it by any means as well. So we'll talk about that as we break down the standings. Coming up, we'll take a 1-minute break. We approach the halfway mark of the Fred McNair Radio Show. We'll be back in 1 minute.
2016 members of the 1871 Club, thank you so much to these great donors for your generous support of Alcorn Football 2016. For more information on how you can become a member and a premier supporter of Braves football, contact Larry Smith, Director of Athletic Development, at 601-443-1881 or send him an email to lsmith@alcorn.edu.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we provide more than $150 billion each year in grants, loans, and work study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers. I can make a difference. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
All right, before we get into the fourth quarter highlights, while we have this opportunity, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening live to the Alcorn Football Radio Network.
You are tuned in to WPRL 91.7 FM, broadcasting from the campus of Alcorn State University.
Happy Halloween, everyone, here on this Monday night. I've posted a couple of Halloween costumes on my Facebook page, Coach McNair. You know, my wife and I do this Halloween get-together prior to the actual Halloween day. Last year I was Fred Flintstone, and this year I was Captain Hook. So I've got those costume pictures, and I tell you what, for all the ladies out there, I have a lot of admiration for those who wear wigs, because I had to wear a wig, and that sucker was hot. I tell you, it was rough on the old scalp. But anyway, let's get to the fourth quarter here on this Monday night as the Braves still trying to hang around in the ball game. And Lenore's Footman, he had the big run, and as we pick up this highlight with 38-20 going into the fourth quarter, Turner with a 14-yard run to Southern's 11, and the Braves had a 3rd down and 3 deep in Jaguar territory.
Here is Footman keeping it, and he scores. So that makes it 38-26.
But the PAT blocked. So that's 2 points right there with the 4 turnovers, those couple of points. You know, you just never know. Every little thing helps.
It makes a difference, Charles, and I think that, you know, just looking at it, his kick was low and never got up. And, I mean, there wasn't nothing they did. Like I said, nothing they did to stop us. It was all about Alcorn stopping Alcorn. So the kick was low and never got up to where it needed to be to get over the bars.
So it's 38-26 at that point. We'll pick up the highlight. Let's go to the phone calls right now. Cassandra calling from Natchez. Good evening, Cassandra. Cassandra, can you hear us?
How are you doing?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Could you do me a favor, Cassandra? We're hearing a little feedback. Can you turn down your radio a little bit? There you go.
Okay. I just had a question about, I think it was maybe the third quarter towards the end, on that 4th and 1. I'm a bit concerned. I've been watching. We aren't able to manage the time at all. I mean, you could have used the timeout with that 4th and 1. You needed to get that 1 yard, and we didn't do it, obviously. But I just want to know, what are you doing to work on managing the game as far as time?
I mean, I don't even have time. It's not about managing the game on that point. It's about getting a push up front with the offensive line and getting that 1 yard. You know, and that's what we're trying to do. It wasn't about really managing the game. So we get that push up front, we get 1 yard, we get a first down. So that's what the biggest thing about that. We didn't get enough push up front from our offensive line.
Yeah, because it seems like the line didn't, know where they should have been or what was going on, or even the play.
They knew.
I mean, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, that's all. They knew what was going on. From the time we called the play, they knew what was going on, and they knew what to expect. And so we didn't get a push up front to get the first down. That was all.
All right, Cassandra, thank you very much. We appreciate your call. Cassandra calling from Natchez. As we pick up the highlight, here's a big moment in this game. Coach McNair, I want to get your thoughts. After a 34-yard merit punt after we got it to within 12, the Braves started at their own 34-yard line, moved the football once again, got to the Jaguars' 11, where it was 2nd down and 7.
Footman play action. Here's a pass caught to the 10 to the 5, touchdown. Southern might have been offsides as a bit of toe penalties down. But let's check these penalties here.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation, offense, 5 men in the back foul. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 22 on the defense. Those penalties were offset. 2nd down.
All right, so the roughing the passer, we get that one, but it sounded like said 5 men in the backfield.
Charles, I done looked at that film through a microscope, and I still can't find that 5th man in the backfield. And so for them to make that call, it was a bad call. Honestly, say that. And I talked to Harold Mitchell earlier today, and you know, it was just a bad call, and it was just bad. I mean,
nothing more to say. Yeah. Coach McNair speechless. Let's pick it up from there. So with the roughing the passer and then the 5 men in the backfield, as you heard, there's a redo. So you replay the down. 3rd down and 7 from the Jaguars' 11.
Footman back to pass. Looks. Footman dances. He sacked off the football. Southern got it. Nope, still squirting. Southern's got the ball and they're returning it. The Lance Turner with the tackle.
Well, that was another situation. We were driving, a touchdown taken off the board, and then unfortunately a turnover.
That's why, you know, you just have to know when to get rid of the football and just live with it. We get there, we kick a field goal, give us another opportunity to put points on the board, you know, and not one quarterback don't know when we're down in that area, we can't turn the ball over. So football knows that, and you just should have got rid of the football.
There was another turnover in there, the 4th turnover. In the 4th quarter, the Braves 4 turnovers, a couple late. Jaguars got a field goal by Albuquerque to make it 41-26 with 2:22 left. Braves wouldn't quit though as they continued. Makes it an 8-point lead right here with this touchdown.
Back to pass. Pumps, lobs it down the field. Anderson, nice catch, touchdown. Anderson with 35 seconds left.
So that made it a 41-33 game, and then the onside kick, and it went out of bounds, and Southern got the football and ran out the clock.
They were very close there. A good throw and catch by Footman and good catch by Anderson there. Just didn't have enough time left to, you know, to overcome the outcome of the game. So
there was a play, Coach. I want to ask you about it, and there's been some tweets about it as well. Blocking the back on a defensive back. That's one that we've gotten several tweets and comments about the last couple of days. What explanation have you received on that particular call?
I never heard of it, Charles. Never in football life I've heard of defensive blocking in the back. Never heard of it. I mean, they made the call, and I didn't get an explanation for it. I'm thinking it's going to be on them, but, you know, they said defense. Blocking in the back, and we chasing the ball. I mean, I don't know. I have no clue what they call it there now.
Wow. Yeah, that was a tough call. We'll take a timeout here, and we'll break the numbers down for you. We'll get to some more tweets coming up. We'll be right back after this 1-minute break. We'll go inside the numbers. The Braves marched up and down the field. Terrific numbers, but unfortunately on the scoreboard, lost by 8. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Fred McNair Radio Show.
Every Alcorn alumnus is free to be in Jackson, Mississippi at the state capitol on Tuesday, February 28,
I was just saying that I
2017
think
at 8 a.m.
the
for
call
the
that
annual
we
Purple and
thought
Gold Day at the
it was on
Mississippi
Southern
Capitol.
because they started.
Alcorn needs your support
They were walking back the
They
other
were
way.
walking back because they thought it was on them.
In the 2017 Mississippi Legislative Session. Save
How
the
did they
date,
just get
Tuesday,
away with
February
that?
28, 2017. Join fellow alumni at the Mississippi State Capitol Building in Jackson, Mississippi for Purple and Gold Day.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we provide more than $150 billion each year in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers.
I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
All right, 37 minutes after the hour. Give us a call, 601-877-6595. A tweet just came in from Mr. T. Coach, will the SWAC do something in regards to questionable calls because there have been many? I know there's a protocol for sending calls in that you need a little explanation on. Just talk about that, and I know it doesn't change anything after the fact, but I know for coaches, they want to feel good about the fact they got a little clarity.
Yeah, I mean, you send plays in and you try to get clarity on them, and sometimes you don't get clarity on them, and that's the disappointing thing about that. But we continue to do that and hope for the best. And if they make a mistake, just make a mistake, and that's it. And everybody entitled to that. But just have some kind of clarity for a coach when you have to call them and tell them about that particular play.
I know it was tough just looking at some of those calls. Final 41-33. Let's get in some of the individual numbers. Lenoris Footman, the athletics department, co-athletics department student athlete of the week. 300 yards passing, 146 yards rushing, accounted for 5 touchdowns in the game.
Like I said, he's a great player, and he's gonna continue to play that way. That's just the way he is, and he practices hard. Every day he come out and put work into it to get better every day at what he does in a football game. And so he's to be commended for those accomplishments he got there, Charles. And that's the way he works, and he try to get better every day.
DeLance Turner, 10 yards from 100, had 90 yards. And then Silas Spearman, I thought, had, even though he had 5 carries, 2 or 3 of those runs were some hard runs, 37 net yards. But, he brought a lot of power and moxie to it.
He did, and DeLance, he's going to be that kind of guy that's going to give you all phases of the game in blocking, passing, and running the ball. And Silas Spearman came in for Baker, which didn't play, did a tremendous job for us at running back. And, just get him more touches. And DeLance, I think, he had a lot of touches this ball game. I think we could have kind of took a little more pressure off him and just looking at the carries that he had. So those guys are very tough and, and doing the things they do on the football field and being able to run the way they run.
Speaking of Aaron Baker, he did not play. What is his status?
Well, right now we're still looking at him, and hopefully he'll be ready this week. We'll take it from day to day. And I asked him earlier, how he felt. He wanted to practice tonight, but we're not going to let him practice tonight. Just get him ready for Saturday. He's a sharp guy, and he can pick up on everything we're doing. Just taking those mental reps for him right now. So he'll be ready for Saturday, if we need him.
Aaron Baker, he's had some good games against Southern in his career, too.
Oh, yeah, great games against Southern. He's just that kind of player. He works hard every day. He want to be that guy. That's the thing about Baker that brings him to practice every day and for him to work hard because he knows he can be that guy when it comes down to rushing the ball.
I think our receiving corps has grown up quite a bit. And Orlando Veal seems to make big catches. He had 6 for 76. Collins Moore, 4 for 64. LaDarian Davis, 4 for 38. Then you have Tavares Johnson, 4 for 33. So that's a pretty good combination, mixing and matching, getting a bunch of receivers involved.
And that's the thing about this offense. We're going to spread the wealth around and get the balls to the guy that's open. It's not necessarily we just going to have one primary receiver, So we're going to spread the ball around so everybody defense can't collapse on that one guy and try and stop him. So once they see those stats and how they spread the ball around, then they'll say, well, we can't really do it. We got to play just straight up defense instead of doing something different.
And then on the defensive side, Coach, if you look at the defensive numbers, we were led by Darian Anderson, who had 7 tackles. Sterling Shippey with 7. Talk about Ship.
I tell you what, Shipley is coming into his own world. We lost Ship last year. We were able to bring him back this year, and now he's getting to where he can really he learned the system and getting more snaps. And he playing a lot on the other side of the ball too, Charles, and he playing in the backfield. And that's where we want him at, control the line of scrimmage there. So he's doing a great job for us.
Of course, our secondary tried to do the best that they could, and with Menard and the other receivers. Just talk about the secondary, and we tried to get pressure, and I thought one of the keys to the game coming in is how we ended the Texas Southern game. Our front 4 really getting pressure on the quarterback. Talk about our front 4 and the job that they try to do to get to get pressure on Howard.
And that's the thing. You get pressure on him and make him throw unill passes and stuff like that, Charles. And that's what we try to do up front. And, you know, our secondary is still going through those growing pains. And we're working with them. And Coach Thomas is doing just the best job as he can to get those guys to play to the best of their can, you know. And that's the thing that I like. He's not giving up on those guys, and he's still pressing the issue about making plays in the secondary. And, you know, we had a lot of missed tackles, and that's something that we worked on during the open week, and making tackles and stuff like that. So we just got to continue to press those young guys and get them better, and especially this week, because I know Coach Simmons gonna really put pressure on that secondary.
Yeah, Rocky Balboa just tweeted, "What is our plan at safety?" So you just kind of covered that a little bit.
Well, I mean, we're still young, and if we had some more guys put back there, we probably would. But right now, we don't have any bodies right now. We got still got guys out in position. But we're gonna continue to press those guys that's playing and just coach them up a little bit more, you know. And that's the thing that we have to do as a staff, and we know it. So we got to put them in the best position to win. That means that we have to take something away from them, you know, as far as the coverage wise and all that kind of stuff, and kind of narrow it down to some of the things they can do well.
Keisha?
The next question is, what's the game plan for Prairie View? But you pretty much already covered that. This is just a comment. This was on Facebook. It's saying, since February, Coach McNair has had to deal with losing some recruits, coaching staff, death of a former player, injuries to key players, lost on national TV, sanctions against the athletic department, and some fans who have, I'm sure you expected, to turn on you. And we still have a legit chance to win our division. So they just wanted to encourage you and let you know that there are still some of us who are 100% behind you, because not once have you made excuses. I mean, we could say it's injuries. We know the injury bug has been running mad through the team, but that's the next man up mentality that you've, been preaching, and I think the team has accepted that. But they just wanted you to know that there are still a lot of us that support you, and we're right behind you.
I appreciate that, and the things is about it, Coach McNair gonna try to control the things he can control, and that's coaching this football team and trying to mend this staff and these players together as they need it. Give these guys the opportunity to do their best on and off the field. That's what we preach every day to these guys, and that's what we're trying to do now, develop these players as young men. And I think we just on the right track, and we just have to just stay pressing the issue with them guys and get them to understand that, every day's not going to be sunny.
Right.
But we just going to continue to press on. We appreciate the call.
Okay. Robert, we're going to get to Robert calling from Edwards in a moment, but Willie Quinn, we've been talking about him all week, and he had the one big punt return. Other than that, talk about the job that we did to try to keep him contained. And
that's the thing. I talked to the guys. I tell you, y'all must have been in my meeting room today. I mean, we talk about containing that guy all week, and even during the bye week, what we was going to do to prevent him from making big plays and scoring touchdowns on special teams. And other than that one long run, which it shouldn't have been, I think the kicker might have bounced the kick and kicked it too close to the middle of the field, and he was able to get it. But we just have to did a great job, I thought, on special teams, other than the 2 missed extra points and being able to contain that guy, man. That was big for us, and we know what he can do, the kind of player he is.
All right, 46 minutes after, let's go to Edwards, and Robert joining us. Good evening.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Robert. How are you, sir?
All right. Coach, I'm a Braves fan, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, Coach, but as you say, we need, this game with Prairie View is going to be a game where we got to have, and this defense should say to yourself, enough is enough. And those seniors need to come together and just say, hey, we're not letting Prairie View get nothing. You don't care what the offense do. That defense should come together. Those seniors need to just say, hey, we need to have this game. But as the caller said, we're not going to get to Houston until the defense starts shutting somebody down. And, you know, we can't worry about what Southern did, you know, Willie Quinn or Tillowitz. You know, it ain't nothing Prairie View is doing where this defense shouldn't shut down Saturday night. Enough is enough. And as you said, y'all can only do what coach. The players got to play. And these next 3 games is going to be the key. This game Saturday night is going to give us momentum. We can't worry about Valley getting on momentum or Jackson State. This game the Prairie View is going to have to give us the momentum going into these next 3 games. And the defense, as I say, should say enough is enough. You know. We done saw enough of Willie Quinn, Willie Tillowitz, ain't nothing Prairie View going to show.
Sound like you been in my meeting room too, Robert. I mean, y'all saying all the right things, and the defense know they gotta step it up, and you know, we press, and we do have a lot of guys out, and like I said, the next man up, and they know it. You know, somebody, like you said, those seniors, they gotta put it together, man. I just got through talking to them about that. You know, somebody gotta get this team up and say, let's go. We're gonna play football. Cause we gotta win. We gotta win here on out. There's no excuse. I mean, we gotta play Alcorn brand football, and that's the winning brand.
All right, well, Robert, we appreciate your call. 6:48. We'll take a timeout here. We'll give you the SWAC standings, and we'll look ahead to Willie Simmons and the Prairie View Panthers at the brand new Prairie View Panthers Stadium. Looking forward to seeing that facility. We'll take a 1-minute break. We'll be right back on the Fred McNair Radio Show.
You've heard of March Madness. Now check out Halloween Madness, Monday, October 31st at 7 o'clock at the Davy L. Whitney Complex here at Alcorn State University. Come meet, greet, and preview the 2016-2017 men's and women's basketball team. There will be candy, a costume contest, and the Sounds of Dynamite will be there. For more information, call 601-877-6500. This great event sponsored by Magnolia Bluffs Casino.
I'll never forget
that moment.
As long as I live. My first call ever as a member of the National Guard.
When we got to the armory, they briefed us on the wildfires. They were getting dangerously close to homes.
Helicopters were going up to drop water on the fires. Guys in the unit were preparing for firefighting with local fire crews. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Mississippi National Guard, aired by the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters and this station.
All right, it's exactly 50 minutes after 6 o'clock. Don't forget the Halloween Madness. If you're in the area, come on down to the Davy L. Whitney Complex for Halloween Madness at the Whitney Arena as we look at the 2016-17 men's and women's basketball teams. The men had the alumni game on Saturday after the Southern game. So basketball season, folks, is right around the corner. Before you know it, we'll be tipping it off. All right, let's give you the standings. And, of course, we knew it happened on Saturday with the Braves. Jackson State lost 28-14 to Prairie View. So Alcorn and Jackson State are 3-3. Alabama A&M beat Alabama State in overtime. And they're 3-4, so they're a half game back. Alabama State 2-5, and Valley is winless. So Alabama A&M only has 2 games remaining, Jackson and Grambling. Of course, the Braves have 3 games remaining, Prairie View, Valley, Jackson State. Jackson State plays at Bama State on Saturday. They have Alabama A&M at home, and they come here November the 19th. Coach, despite the loss, we got a little help, which is good, but we now have to help ourselves with 3 games left to get back to Houston for a 3rd year in a row.
That's the thing, you know, I tell the guys all the time, you know, we got to control our own destiny, and that's what we need to do. We need to take control of it to where it won't come down to somebody beating somebody or we beating win the last game of the season. You know, we have to understand that, and like I said, that's some of the things we talked about today. We got a 3-game season right now, and we need to win all 3 of them. So. You know, just add the stuff on and just kind of keep pressing and get these guys up for Prairie View, and it's going to be a very big game for them, and also as well as a big game for us. You know, so we got to go in with the frame of mind of winning and have an attitude to go out there and play hard-nosed football.
Of course, Alexis Smith just tweeted a comment. Well, I do hope we see Southern one more time, LOL. So she's looking forward maybe to another matchup. On the recruiting trail, Coach, for 52 minutes after the hour, Music Boy tweeted just talking about the recruiting trail. Just talk about that a little bit, where things are on the recruiting trail. You had the bye week, and where, as far as the calendar is concerned, what happens right now in terms of recruiting? Is this a dead period or what?
Well, right now it's unofficial visit right now, and and we can't do too much with the recruiting. We write letters and carry that stuff out and tweet, maybe Facebook and all that kind of stuff with them. And but we're doing the right things to get the guys we want in place. As far as we went out for the opening bye week and got some kids visit in Texas and Louisiana, Mobile, Georgia, and all those areas there. So we reached out to those guys and to the recruits that we're trying to get, Charles. So it's still early, but it's not too late, So we're still doing the things we need to do to get those recruits in.
Lexus also tweeted, will you and the staff take a longer look at some JUCO players that can come in and play next season?
Well, that's one of the things that we've talked about as a staff too, is get some guys that can come in and play right away. And I think we got our eyes on a few that come in and with some experience that can come out and play right away.
Coach, what about a kicker? Is there a plan to try another kicker? Do we have another kicker on the team?
Yeah, we got Corey. We got Corey McCartney. He's going to be a great one too. And he came in at the end and did some kick for us there. But Hayes is a senior. He'll be leaving us this year, and Corey will take over the helm of the kicking job and also the punting. We do have another guy on the roster from DeSoto, Texas, VJ Dyer.
Okay.
So we do have kickers in place, and so we're doing everything to kind of keep everything lined up so we won't have to just bring a fresh kicker in next year. See, Corey, he's been here.
Okay.
He started kicking off early in the season for us and done a tremendous job. And I think he's going to continue to be a great kicker for us.
All right, 54 minutes after, we'll take a timeout. We'll look ahead to Prairie View. We'll break them down coming up in 1 minute on the Fred McNair Radio Show.
Alcorn State back-to-back SWAC champions replica trophies. They're $20 each and make a great coffee table piece or a desk paperweight. Get yours today online by going to alcorn.edu/foundation. Or you can call Larry Smith at 601-877-2470 or send him an email, lsmith@alcorn.edu. Proceeds will benefit Alcorn football.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Mississippi are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports are one part of a complete education. This message presented by the Mississippi High School Activities Association and the Mississippi Athletic Administrators Association.
At WPRL 91.7 FM.
All right, it's 55 minutes after. Coach, let's look at Saturday's opponent. 1 o'clock kickoff from Panther Stadium, the Prairie View A&M Panthers. This team beat Jackson State 28-14. They played up twice at Texas A&M, and Rice actually scored 44 points against Rice, a lot of it in the second half. They beat Bama State 24-17. They beat Valley 56-21. They beat A&M 41-20. So we know one thing about a Willie Simmons coach team: they can score the football. And we're going to have to get some stops. We're going to have to get our offense going. This could be another shootout come Saturday.
Yeah, I hope it don't come down to that, Charles. They averaging right at 29 points a game, and they're giving up 33, and they having 367 yards total offense. So we got to be ready and to play football. I know Coach Simmons, and we had a good relationship when he was here. So I know the things that he can do on offense, and Ralph Street, he's a defensive coordinator. He was here also. So I know those guys well, and Coach Thomas, he coached with Ralph too. So we know the things that those guys are capable of doing on both sides of the ball. So we have to be very sound in the things that we're going to do on offense and defense side of the ball as well. So it's a game that's going to be played. It's going to be a tough ball game. As all of them. We're going to put together our best game plan and take it to Prairie View and see if we pull out this win. So it'll be a big game for us. And the kids know it. They got some good players. The quarterback is good. Trent Green, The running back is good. He's averaging some few yards a game, and we just got to just play tough. Defense they got on defense, they got a kid, Arthur Lockett. He was a cornerback last year. He played corner, and now he's playing nickelback. So he's all over the field. That's what kind of athletes they have at Prairie View. So we got to be very well aware of what old guys at that time when we're playing. So we just got to do everything this coaching staff need to do to put our players in a position to win this ball game.
Well, Coach, it's a big game, obviously. They're all big, just 3 games left. We still control on VIII, so that's a good thing. Before we wrap it up here, of course, there was a Tonka George tribute. I saw his family in Vicksburg Friday and just spoke with them. And, of course, the Sounds of Dynamite spelled Tonka on the field. Just a special day despite the end result. It was a great day in honoring the late Tonka George.
Anytime you can come back and honor players Tonka caliber, is always special, to the family. Miss Randall George, she's a dynamic woman, Charles, and I got a chance to visit with her, during the time of the funeral and everything, and got a chance to, she called me all the time and just say, Coach, I appreciate the job you're doing and the things that your team is doing for us, and I think the university paid tribute to Tonka in a very special way, and I thank the university for doing such a wonderful job. Even the band, spelling out Tonka name on the halftime. It's the thing that this university can do as far as making people come back and be very happy for those purpose reasons on those occasions like that.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate it, and let's go get them next week. Let's bounce back.
Got to do it, Charles. We got to go, man.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Keisha.
All right, Keisha, good job.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next week. We'll talk to everybody next week. The Fred McNair Radio Show. Glad you can join us. We appreciate all the calls near and far here on this Monday night. Alcorn in preview from Panthers Stadium. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff of all the games in the league on Saturday. We have the early game, so we'll definitely see the other games as they develop, even though we don't need any help. This race is all of a sudden, I think it's a 2.5 horse race. You got Alcorn, of course, you got Jackson State, and Alabama A&M has crept back into the conversation somewhat. We have the tiebreaker on A&M because we beat them early in the season. That'll do it for the Fred McNair Radio Show on this Monday night. I'm Charles Edmond, our producer Jamario Brooks with the phone calls. We'll talk to you next week. So long.